Take a quiet moment, breathe, and gently bring this person into your awareness. Tune into their presence, not just who they are, but how they feel when it comes to you. Let's uncover what's truly going on beneath the surface. Right now, their energy is strongly pulled toward you. With the Six of Wands, there's a sense of pride and desire for recognition in this connection. This isn't someone who wants to keep things hidden. They want to be seen with you, acknowledged with you. Your attention means everything to them, almost like validation they deeply crave. For many of you, this person expresses love physically and openly. They're the kind who naturally reaches for your hand, wraps an arm around you, or pulls you close in public, not just out of affection, but because being close to you feels like a victory they want the world to witness. There's also a strong underlying desire to claim this connection in a real, grounded way. They don't just want moments with you. They want something defined, something undeniable. They want to stand beside you with certainty, as if saying without words, "This is my person." Now, with the lovers, the depth of their attraction goes far beyond the surface. This is not fleeting interest. This is a magnetic, almost fated pull. They feel emotionally and physically drawn to you in a way that's hard to explain, like being around you awakens something inside them they can't ignore. The intimacy you share, whether emotional or physical, has left a lasting imprint on them. But here's where it becomes more complex. The Nine of Wands reveals an inner tension. There's a buildup of emotions they may not fully know how to handle. It's like they've been trying to hold themselves back, to stay in control. But that control is slipping. This frustration doesn't come from lack of interest. It comes from too much intensity. They're overwhelmed by how strongly they feel. And then comes the King of Wands energy. This is where everything sharpens. This person isn't passive. Deep down, they have a powerful urge to act, to pursue, to move toward you with confidence and intention. You've ignited something bold and fearless within them. Letting go of you doesn't even feel like an option. What makes this even more intense is that they're not used to feeling this way for so long or this deeply. It's unfamiliar territory, this level of passion, this constant pull toward someone. At times it consumes their thoughts, challenges their sense of control, and pushes them out of their comfort zone. And yet, despite how overwhelming it can feel, they don't want to escape it. Because no matter how intense it gets, something within them keeps choosing you again and again. With the Eight of Pentacles, this connection is not something they take lightly. It's something they choose to build step by step. Their energy shows patience, dedication, and genuine intention. When it comes to you, they don't just like you. They study you in the most heartfelt way. They notice the subtle shifts in your mood, the small things that make you smile, the details others might overlook. Being around you inspires them to become more present, more attentive, more invested. It's almost as if they want to get everything right with you. They're willing to put in the effort, to grow, to learn what love truly means through this connection. To them, every conversation, every shared moment, every memory you create together holds value. This is someone who is quietly but consistently building something meaningful with you, brick by brick. Then comes the energy of judgment, and this is where everything deepens. This person is going through a powerful internal awakening. Something within them has shifted in a way they can't undo. It's like they've reached a moment of truth where they can finally see things clearly, especially when it comes to you. For some, this may connect with the transformative energy of a Scorpio, but beyond that, it speaks of rebirth and realization. They're recognizing that you are not just another person in their life. You represent something rare, something that has touched them on a much deeper level. There's a strong sense that this connection feels familiar to them, almost like something their soul already understands. And that realization didn't come slowly. It hit them all at once. One moment they were unsure, and the next everything aligned. Their feelings rose to the surface so intensely that they can't push them back down anymore. With the Eight of Pentacles, this connection is not something they take lightly. It's something they choose to build step by step. Their energy shows patience, dedication, and genuine intention. When it comes to you, they don't just like you, they study you in the most heartfelt way. They notice the subtle shifts in your mood, the small things that make you smile, the details others might overlook. Being around you inspires them to become more present, more attentive, more invested. It's almost as if they want to get everything right with you. They're willing to put in the effort, to grow, to learn what love truly means through this connection. To them, every conversation, every shared moment, every memory you create together holds value. This is someone who is quietly but consistently building something meaningful with you, brick by brick. Then comes the energy of judgment, and this is where everything deepens. This person is going through a powerful internal awakening. Something within them has shifted in a way they can't undo. It's like they've reached a moment of truth where they can finally see things clearly, especially when it comes to you. For some, this may connect with the transformative energy of a Scorpio, but beyond that, it speaks of rebirth and realization. They're recognizing that you are not just another person in their life. You represent something rare, something that has touched them on a much deeper level. There's a strong sense that this connection feels familiar to them, almost like something their soul already understands. And that realization didn't come slowly. It hit them all at once. One moment, they were unsure, and the next, everything aligned. Their feelings rose to the surface so intensely that they can't push them back down anymore. Now, you live in their thoughts in a way they can't control. It's not just attraction, it's emotional depth, curiosity, longing, and even a bit of vulnerability all mixed together. They feel pulled toward you not just by desire, but by something that feels meaningful and undeniable. Let's go beneath the surface and look at what is really happening within this person's emotional world when it comes to you. This is not a simple feeling. It's layered, complex, and deeply consuming. Starting with the Six of Cups, this person is constantly drawn back to you through memory and emotion. Their mind doesn't just think of you, it returns to you. There is a sense of familiarity here, like something they've known before, even if they can't fully explain it. Moments you've shared don't feel ordinary to them. They feel meaningful, soft, and emotionally rich. When they think about you, it's not just one moment. It's a collection of feelings, impressions, and emotional imprints that stay with them throughout the day. Now, when the energy shifts into the Devil, the connection deepens into something far more intense and harder to control. This is where attachment turns into something magnetic. It's not casual interest anymore. It's a pull, a strong emotional and even physical pull that they struggle to resist. You occupy their thoughts in a way that feels constant, almost intrusive at times. They may not fully admit it, but they feel bound to you energetically. This isn't about negativity. It's about intensity, desire, and a kind of emotional dependency that keeps drawing them back. And this is where the Eight of Pentacles plays a key role. Despite how overwhelming these feelings are, this person is trying to understand you. They observe you closely. They pay attention to how you move, what you say, what you enjoy. It's almost like they are studying you, not in a distant or cold way, but in a deeply invested, almost careful manner. They want to get things right with you. They want to know how to connect with you properly, how to build something that actually works. Their focus is strong, consistent, and intentional. But beneath all this emotional intensity, the Eight of Swords reveals an internal struggle. This person feels mentally restricted. It's as if they are caught between what they feel and what they believe they are allowed to express. There is hesitation, overthinking, and a sense of being trapped within their own thoughts. They may fear the consequences of acting on their feelings, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, or fear of things not going as expected. Because of this, they hold back, even when everything inside them is pushing them forward. With Temperance, however, there is a completely different layer at play, one of healing and alignment. This connection isn't random. It carries balance and timing. There is a natural flow between you both, even if it's not always visible on the surface. This energy suggests that despite the intensity, there is a deeper purpose here, something that is meant to come together in the right way, at the right time. It reflects emotional blending, where two energies are slowly learning to meet in harmony. For some, this may reflect the balancing influence associated with a Sagittarius. Then comes the Three of Wands, and here we see anticipation turning into impatience. This person has reached a point where waiting is no longer easy. They have already envisioned what they want with you. They've thought about it, felt it, imagined it, but now the physical or emotional distance is becoming difficult to tolerate. There is a strong, forward-moving energy building within them, like they are ready to close the gap. They want to move from thinking into experiencing. The distance, whether emotional or physical, is starting to feel like a barrier they no longer want to accept. Even in silence or separation, the connection remains active. With the Six of Cups, they continue to think about you, remember you, and emotionally revisit the bond you share. And with the Devil, that pull only strengthens over time. It doesn't weaken, it deepens. This kind of intensity can sometimes align with the powerful energy often associated with a Capricorn, where attachment, persistence, and emotional fixation are heightened. The presence of the Emperor adds another dimension. This person has a strong desire to take control of the situation, to step forward with confidence and structure. They want stability, they want clarity, they want to act. But the problem is that their inner world is not fully aligned yet. There is a conflict between control and emotion, between action and hesitation. This creates frustration within them because part of them wants to lead, to decide, to move forward, but another part is still held back. When we return again to the Eight of Swords, we see the core of that restriction more clearly. This isn't just external, it's internal. Their own thoughts are creating boundaries. Their own fears are limiting their expression. Yet despite all of this, their emotional and physical desire for you remains strong. They want closeness, reassurance, touch, and connection. Physical presence feels grounding and almost healing for them. It gives them a sense of relief that their mind alone cannot provide. And then we reach the Tower, which reveals the deeper fear beneath everything. This person is afraid of losing you suddenly. There is an underlying anxiety that something unexpected could disrupt this connection, something they cannot control. This could relate to things becoming more serious, more visible, or more official. The idea of change itself feels intense to them because what they feel for you matters deeply. The Tower doesn't just represent fear. It represents the fear of loss through sudden change. And that fear is powerful enough to create resistance within them, even when their heart is already fully invested. With the King of Cups, you're dealing with someone who carries their emotions in a very controlled, composed way on the outside. But internally, they feel far more than they show. Their emotional world is deep, steady, and intense. They don't experience love lightly. When they connect with someone, it runs through them on a level that's difficult to put into words. At the same time, this person is trying to maintain balance. They don't want their emotions to take over or make them lose control. But when it comes to you, that balance becomes harder to hold. Their feelings grow stronger, and instead of expressing everything openly, they tend to process it quietly within themselves. If this energy aligns with the sign Scorpio, it reflects the depth and intensity even more, because this isn't surface-level attraction. This is something that pulls at them emotionally, mentally, and even energetically. Beneath their calm exterior, there is a strong emotional attachment forming. And with that attachment comes a fear they don't easily admit, the fear of losing you. This fear is not loud, but it is persistent. It sits in the background of their thoughts and influences how they approach this connection. The more they feel for you, the more they feel the need to hold on to you. Because of this, their thoughts can become centered around you more than they intend. not in a chaotic way, but in a consistent, almost constant awareness of your presence in their life. You matter to them deeply, and that weight is not something they take lightly. Now, when we bring in the energy of boundaries, we see that there are limits in place, whether emotional, situational, or both. Something in this connection is not fully open yet. It could be personal fears, past experiences, external circumstances, or simply a need for emotional safety. These boundaries are not necessarily a negative. They are protective, but they do create a sense of distance or limitation between you. This is where the energy of the Eight of Swords becomes important. It reflects the mental space where fears and overthinking start to build invisible walls. One or both of you may feel restricted, not because the connection isn't strong, but because of internal doubts or external pressures. Thoughts like, what if this doesn't work, or what if something goes wrong if this becomes known, can quietly influence the way things unfold. There is also a layer of hesitation around visibility. The idea of this connection being seen by others, being acknowledged, labeled, or made official, can feel overwhelming. This doesn't mean the connection lacks depth. In fact, it's the opposite. It's because the connection matters that there's caution around how it's handled. And yet, despite all of these layers, something important remains constant: the desire to understand each other more deeply. There is a quiet, steady pull toward growth between you both. Not rushed, not forced, but intentional. This connection is trying to evolve at a pace that feels emotionally safe for both sides. There's a sense that over time, both of you are learning how to meet each other in a way that respects your boundaries while still allowing the bond to strengthen. All right, so I'm going to wrap up this video right here. I'll see you soon in a new video. Thanks for watching. By the way, do let me know how you liked today's video. Since I wasn't feeling particularly well today, yet I still managed to make it, I would really love to know how it turned out. I'll definitely be reading your comments. So, all right, bye-bye.